Perfect. Thanks, everyone. Last question that we'll take for now is what is the current time frame for someone who is not eligible for Medicaid anymore to be unenrolled?
Evelyn, Gabrielle,
Oh.
let me take a stab at it. Well, wouldn't it be based on when they last enrolled, that date? They would fall off by then. I believe you guys told me it's something like that. It's not immediate, but like 30 to 60 days after that enrollment date, right, Evelyn?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. I was paying attention.
You were. So just so we know for at least the marketplace is adding it as a qualifying life event. So we do have up to 6 months, but I just wouldn't share that with our clients because we don't want them to have a gap in their insurance. And then now you have to call customer service to get that, straightened out. So definitely the message out there is 60 days.
Thank you for clarifying that. All right, so thank you for the questions, and hopefully the answers were sufficient for you. And definitely, if we have more time at the end, we'll take a few more questions. And this is the first meeting, so please don't feel like you're lost. We're definitely getting all the information, and we'll continue to keep you apprised because we know things are fluid. So now, without further ado, Gemma's gonna assist us with the Gemma Jamboard.
Hi, everyone. Such great questions, and note that we're taking them all down, like Yolanda said, and hoping to get the answers out as we learn them and as our experts in the room are sharing them. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. This next kind of section is to kind of pick your brains about this coverage ambassador program, and we want to have a collective effort with you all. I believe one of my colleagues will drop the link to the Jamboard in the chat. And for those of you who have worked with Jamboard before, I always love, I don't know if it's because you can hear in my accent, but I'm Australian and the first couple of animals are Australian. So we'll take that as a good sign, but it's a live document and we have some prompts to follow, but basically we want to learn from you all what you want to see in a community ambassador program, what's going to make it successful, and how we can implement it. So this is a co-creation of those messengers and messaging that Yolanda talked about earlier. So to orient you to the space, here, the easiest way is a sticky note. Pull it up. You can write whatever you want, any ideas that come. You can pick a color. Mine is yellow. So favorite color is yellow. So I just will go with a yellow one and stick it on the board. And what it's going to create is a large brainstorm of ideas from this collective and the amazing work that you do. So the first thing we want to think about is what makes an successful insurance coverage ambassador program. And so we'd love for you to start adding notes about things you'd like to see in an insurance coverage ambassador program, thinking about what modes of messaging might be best, how we want to achieve coverage. Is there like a strategic plan to how we kind of disseminate these ambassadors, content, anything that comes to mind? We don't want to be prescriptive. We want to hear your voices. So jump on in. Let me know if there's any difficulties accessing it. Good. Language is important. And I saw Creole in the chat earlier, and we need to be so aware that we have great, easy to read language too.
And I'll just add, this is where I know we had a few questions in reference specifically to the this area. So this is where you can put your question so that we can capture it more formally when we're, planning out how we're going to go about doing this training in the future, the very near future.
Yeah, I love the idea of text messages. Yeah, educating the ambassadors, providing that training. And we're so lucky to have some of those amazing trainers on the call today. I think that's going to be a crucial piece for sure. Yep, text messages coming up again and social media. Easy to access ambassadors. I love that. I was wondering if anyone wanted to, if that was your comment or have a similar comment, if you wanted to elaborate more on what do you mean by easy access ambassadors so we can understand.
Sure, that was my comment.
Hi,
Ms.
Danica.
Matthias from Clintonville. Hi, Gemma. So I think that, there are a lot of partners on the call today, which is great. And hopefully we represent a wide range of the community. So people shouldn't have to search or go far to get support with this process, because that's going to be a turnoff. That's going to be a deterrent.
Yeah, definitely meeting people where they are. That's so great. Thanks for sharing. Need follow-up surveys to ensure people get cards. I was wondering if whoever put that in there feels comfortable elaborating a bit more.
Sure, this is Pete from Acasa. So one of the things we've used are surveys post the enrollment events to really understand who got enrolled, were there any issues, and I think we're going to probably start doing 4-week, 6-week, and 4-week, 8-week, and 12-week to make sure they actually get their card, start scheduling appointments with their doctors.
Right. So that follow up to make sure it's all working down. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Pete.
Gemma, I'll just add too, really quickly, as you guys are, thinking about this particular question, think of some of the things that you knew that worked during COVID when they were doing, the COVID ambassadors, and deploying them in terms of the training. Of course, we want the things that worked, but I mean, also share what we shouldn't do in this area as well. That's important.
Definitely. We want to learn and grow from the challenges and barriers as well. I love the one down the bottom saying ambassadors with access to technology to support families who don't have access to devices. And I think, Yolanda, we learned on a call that bringing like even fax machines,
yes,
so that we can fax paperwork through is going to be something that we need to think about.
Janet, is your hand up? No,
I forgot to put it down, sorry.
Okay, no worries.
So as this is kind of filling in, I guess, establish relationships with local schools. Yes, definitely. We want to be reaching parents, particularly for that Cover All Kids piece, and like going to PTAs meetings and making sure that they have the information. That's a great idea. I want to, now that we can all see this very colorful board ahead of us, I want to open up the floor to hear any perspectives, or if there are ideas up here that you want to elaborate more on, or ones that you very much agree with. We want to capture what's most important to you as well. So please feel free to share any thoughts. You can unmute yourself as well as you see this kind of page fill out, and I love all the different colors. Yes, using the faith-based organizations, definitely. Youth serving groups, love it. Okay, so this is a great start, and I think Yolanda, oh, Jamie, jump on.
Hi everyone. I'm Jamie. I direct the Navigator Exchange program at the Center for Family Services. We have a statewide hotline where we can answer some questions, and we also provide enrollment assistance either in Medicaid or the marketplace. And so we also right now have a partnership, and I'm just mentioning this in case it's helpful for anyone in the Newark area. We have a partnership right now with Walgreens. Walgreens approached us, and they started this pilot program where they have health advisors in certain Walgreens pharmacies throughout the state. And so these health advisors are meant to be sort of like community ambassadors. And so they're making direct referrals to us. But one of the things that we're finding is like those health advisors really are not aware of community resources. And so like folks will come to us, and prior to the pandemic, we had a very strong physical presence in the state from Burlington County down through Cape May. And now we're statewide because we can help folks any which way, right? But again, what we're finding is these health advisors aren't aware of these resources in their own cities and towns in Essex County. And there's a couple of them in Essex County that are doing this. So I was just putting that out there to say, like, go into Walgreens, like pass out your information, folks. We get a lot of referrals for Spanish speaking folks. We get a lot of referrals for French Creole, Haitian residents of the state who are looking for these resources. So I just really wanted to throw that out there, both us as a resource and a place to leave some info about yourself. Thanks.
Thanks so much for sharing, Jamie. That's wonderful. And I think we need to think about all these other places like Walgreens and the supermarkets and where people are just congregating naturally. As well, the survey link that we put in the chat earlier has a question about what work are you currently doing? And we hope to be able to kind of pull that all together and share. So we all are aware of what's going on and what services are out there that we can kind of connect you all to as we kind of tackle this problem together. There are two that are standing out to me that I just want to bring attention to: the talk to people and not at them, and be kind and nurturing. And I think that needs to underpin this work, particularly with Cover All Kids, with now expanding to the despite immigration status. So we need to make sure that we're doing it with humility and a human approach. So I love those ones. Available on the weekends. Perfect. These are all such great ideas. I don't know if there's anything happening in the chat that I need to be aware of, but
Yeah.
Oh, go, Nikki.
Yeah, Gemma, we just have a comment in the chat box as well, just about lifting up the importance of being kind and nurturing and having these conversations as well.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's going to be pivotal in how we approach this. So I think we've kind of answered it. We had like the flip side question that Yolanda talked about, which are what are going to be some of the challenges. We want to be able to anticipate them as much as possible in order to like kind of navigate them. I know we talked a lot about like languages coming up, meeting people where they are. And so we might just only spend a few minutes here, but similarly to what Yolanda said, if there's anything you learned from COVID and getting the word out there, what do we anticipate are some of the challenges that we should think about when designing a program like this? Distrust. Mm-hmm. Yes. We're going to have to navigate both of those so well, particularly for Cover All Kids. And I think that's going to be both in the messaging that we put out there and the trusted messages that are delivering this message. Oh yeah, thanks, Nikki. Yeah, if you are new to Jamboard, up the top, there's like little arrows to go, and we're on slide 2. Consistency in messaging, yes. I think we've learned, as we're learning as well, that particularly from the state, we're learning new things every day. And so it's like, how are we able to make sure that everyone's receiving the same thing? And when there is updates, everyone's getting them. So definitely. Yeah. And the all partners align. That's why we want to meet with you all today and make sure this is like a collective effort. The last thing we want to do is cause confusion. So great point. Yeah, language for sure. And reaching people before they might be terminated. I think time is definitely a constraint for this project. So something that we need to keep in mind. And I think it was Iris or one of the Amazing Horizon folks, or NG Citizen Action, who said urgency, urgency, urgency. So I think that's super important.